In this video, I want to share the three skills, three of them, that I've learned from mentors like this and mentors that I've had in the past coming out of college and being lost and not knowing what to do or what skills to master to set myself up in the right way to have a life of freedom, be able to travel and work remotely and do something I'm passionate about and be independent and kind of just build my life in the way that I'm in control of. Last summer, I had woken up one day on the weekend in my New York City apartment, and I was nervous. It was a big day. I had a one-on-one call scheduled with a multi-millionaire mentor of mine that I'd been speaking with in the online coaching space. He's worked with big name guys like Mike Thurston, Hamza, Charlie Morgan, people like that. And I had finally just bit the bullet in reaching out for some high-level help and guidance like that. Early in my 20s, I'm in my mid-20s right now, just about 25. This wasn't the first time that I received mentorship from someone at a high level, but it was a big moment where I had taken action on reaching out, getting some guidance on how to kind of just get ahead in my 20s and what I should kind of do and what skills I should learn in my 20s to get ahead and set myself up for success as a young, ambitious, entrepreneur-minded guy like myself. If you don't know me, I'm Chad. I am a digital nomad in my 20s, mid-20s, working in remote sales currently. And I'm currently just documenting my life and journey and figuring out this whole modern creator, entrepreneur lifestyle type thing that is big right now. And a lot of people are in this space because it can be really difficult to navigate this topic of how to spend your 20s, what career, skills, or business to start and grow into to live a life of freedom, retire your parents, and build the amount of wealth that you want while also doing something meaningful to you and making an impact that you feel like deep down you're called to make. And I've came a long way here. I do work completely remotely right now. I'm gonna get into the one skill that allows me to do that, and there's two others that will help in the business side. But I do currently work remotely and I have a lot of freedom and travel a lot. I'm currently in an Airbnb. So I know what I'm talking about in terms of making progress in these areas. And I have a lot of value that I could share to you to help you do something like this pretty quickly and get clarity around your future vision as an entrepreneur and someone who's setting themselves up well in their 20s. So let's get into it. The three skills, one is sales. Two is a passion skill, and I'm gonna get into it. Three is content creation. Content is big. So I'm gonna cover these three, how you can do them, why they're the best skills to go all in on, so you can just kind of turn your brain off for the next couple years, just focus on those, and you'll see massive success. So let's talk about sales. What's the number one skill that any entrepreneur must master? That it's involved in any business venture, whether you're drop shipping, whether you have a clothing brand, whether you're a coach, anything, you need sales. I'll tell you a story about when I was doing freelance copywriting work while I was still working a 9-to-5, and I was kind of not liking the 9-to-5 I was in, and I wanted to escape. I wanted to do something completely remote and build something of my own. So I got into copywriting for that reason. Was I passionate about it? Not really. I just wanted to make money. But I found out there were a ton of different skills involved. There was learning digital marketing, writing, there was fulfillment, there was coaching through my clients, right? There was sales, which I sucked at. So it was so many different skills, and there's more involved in running a whole business and getting clients and lead generation. And I just sucked at all of them because I was doing everything all at the same time. When in reality, I could have just picked one of those skills and mastered that, like sales, which is a super important component of it. And I sucked at it. And if I had just knew that you can just focus on sales, which is basically just learning how to take calls, to present the value of what you offer to a client in exchange for value in the form of money back. If I had just knew that I could master that and focused in on that alone, I would have been much better off and would have made the money that I wanted to make a lot faster, had the freedom I would have wanted a lot faster, which I have now being in sales currently, remotely, literally just work from my laptop, make calls, write some emails, just have conversations with people. But I'm able to learn skills that are benefiting me in my business ventures, which is the main thing, because when I was working a 9 to 5, when I was working like a traditional 9 to 5, where I was kind of doing work, kind of like data entry work, it wasn't really helping me build any skills. So that's where I felt like I was just massively wasting my time. I was not doing something that was helping me. I was just kind of helping some other business function, and it wasn't meaningful either, because I didn't see how it fit into my future. So something like sales is the most fun in the world, because I know that it's contributing to my future, because I need these skills, and I see that I'm building skills as my job, while being able to have the freedom that we all crave by wanting to travel, work from an Airbnb. So it allows me to do that, but also knowing that I'm spending my time wisely, knowing that these skills of sales, I can literally just stack on to whatever business I want to create, which I'm going to get into a passion skill, and the knowing that it will help me in that, and I will be on a higher trajectory and blow past people who hadn't mastered sales or honed in on the skill of sales, which involves getting better at self-development, communication, speaking. Sales is really just going to build you up into an entrepreneur. And back to this call with my mentor on this weekend in New York City, he confirmed this for me, because I had learned it from a previous mentor, and I was trying to get some clarity on if I was going in the right direction. And he told me sales is the best career you can have. And he told me stick with it, keep mastering it. The more you master it, it's going to serve you for life. And don't rush it. Take it easy. You know, I'm young still, and some of you watching this are younger than me. I'm 25, and you don't want to rush things. People who play the long game succeed, and that's what I've learned as well. Especially if you're someone coming out of school or college and was lost like I am, sales is kind of like a vehicle you can go into if you don't know what business you want to start. If you don't know where you want to help people in the world, or how you want to impact the world, what your mission is. If you don't know that, you got to do something in the meantime, is the way I see it. And not everyone has the luxury to just do what they're passionate about right off the bat. If you have that mindset, it can be dangerous, because you can sell out for it. Let's say you're doing something you're passionate about, like music, and you really want to make money, you need to pay bills, so you end up just making music that sells instead of authentically the music that you like to make and that you feel like you'll make the biggest impact on people. So it can be dangerous to just lock yourself in a room and say, I'm not going to come out until I have clarity on my entrepreneur vision or my business, until my business succeeds. It can be helpful to sometimes calm yourself down and have a vehicle that you can make comfortable income with, that you can have some freedom with to travel, and then on the side focus on building your business, getting clarity on how you want to help people. For me, it takes time. I need to read a ton of different books. I like to download perspectives from other people. I need to expand my awareness and just learn things first before really knowing what it is I want to go all in on. And I'm giving myself that freedom and breathing room by having a sales job, so that I can kind of hone in and play the long game, and not like sell out and do something just for money and then waste years of my life having just not done what I wanted to do or was meant to do here. And that's my biggest fear, and that's why I think sales is such a good thing to download and to do as your full-time or part-time thing while you do business. I don't have too much time in this video to dive into how to break into sales or what kind of sales job to get. Obviously, remote is where you want to be if you want freedom, but I made a full free guide for just beginners who are just learning about sales or even know about it, just don't know how to break in. I made a free guide. You can click the first link in the description to download that. It'll take you to a page. Just put your email and it can send straight to your email, and that way you have that. Let's talk about skill number 2. And this is what I call a passion skill. And I've learned this from a handful of mentors of mine. And you can just see how there's people making money, especially online, in millions of different ways. There is no limit to the amount of ways that you can make money. Now, I was always trying to find the best way, the number one way to make money online, the best thing to make the money quickest. And that's a trap, what I've learned, because if you can make money in everything, in anything, if you just stick to it and do what's required and learn from people in that field, You can do it, and that's the mindset you have to have, because you can do anything. Why would it make sense to do something that you're not passionate about? Why would it make sense to do something you don't enjoy? And that's the mindset switch that I had to have. And that's why I failed a ton of things. Like, I was doing copywriting back in the day and struggling massively. I was working for free. I didn't know how to close clients. I didn't know how to fulfill to the point. I didn't have clarity around like how to actually get them results. And I didn't find myself wanting to do the work. And that's why I failed. Again, for example, I tried to do other things like drop shipping. I tried to make a store and sell like t-shirts, popular t-shirts, digital art and stuff. And like, I was just trying to make money. I was trying to find a way to like have passive income roll in. And I failed because I didn't stick it out, because I wasn't really passionate about that thing. It just was an effort to make money. And this is why the second best skill you can master is something that you're truly passionate about. For me, there's a few things, and that might be the same for you, like music, spirituality. I'm very like niche interested in like frequencies and how music affects us and the negative agendas of music in modern society. And do I know I can make money in some way of this? Yes, I know, but I'm not rushing it. I'm still just trying to expand my brain and follow my curiosity where it feels right, and keeping honing in my skills of music and reading and learning. And this is fine because I'm playing the long game, and I have money solved, and I'm able to just breathe and relax and really not worry about money and do something I'm passionate about, which I think is super valuable. And if you really want to have a long-term lifestyle of living in line with total freedom is doing something that you like for work. Because I think in reality, none of us want to just sit around. It's going to get boring eventually. You're going to want to do some kind of work. And so you really want to pick the passion that you have, and sharpen that skill that you're going to want to do anyway. And some good ways to find this out is asking yourself, what would you do if you had $1 billion in the bank? Money solved. What would you do? How would you spend your day? After you traveled, after you did all the things that you wanted to do, retire your parents, what would you spend your time doing? And the answer to that question will point you in the direction of what you're inclined to do, what you were created to do, or where your conscience is leading you toward where you should go. And it's dangerous to play the game of just doing something for money, because you can spend so much time wasted if you hadn't, because think about it, then when you just focus on something for money, well, it will never end. You'll look back and be like, okay, I've made a ton of money, but now what? You know, I have a nice home, cool, I've been working a ton, and you might even have more work than you know what to do with, and won't even have time or freedom to live. And that's why you want to pick something that you're passionate about, so it doesn't feel like work for you, so you can do it as much as you want, and it energizes you instead of leads you to burnout. So we covered sales, we covered a passion skill. Hopefully that sheds some clarity. And again, I've learned it from other people who are successful, multimillionaires, and other people that I've spoken with that are successful in being entrepreneurs, that have their own businesses. And I just want to share this to my younger self, like you, if you're someone on the path who's kind of lost. But let's go into the third step, the third skill, content creation. Now, it's no secret that content is king. I'm not going to sell you on why content is so good. Basically, content is the most popular way of getting your face out there in the world, getting your talents out there in the world. I'll tell you a story about the first time I made money online. It was selling a beat online. I used to make music, and I was making hip hop beats, and I was having a good time. One day I just posted an Instagram post of my beat with like some art there on my page, and somebody reached out like a week later, or maybe it was 2 weeks later. I had posted a couple, and someone reached out in the DMs, and they just said, hey, these beats are awesome, where can I buy them? And I was like, wow, I was mind blown. I was like, holy crap, like, wow, I guess content is how to sell this stuff. And I started continuing to do it, and I was making pretty consistent, small purchases. Every now and then I was getting some small compensation for the music that I was making, which was so fun for me. The moral of that story is that content is the other skill that you need. There's a quote by Dan Coe, and it goes, I'll put it on screen: do what you love, but learn sales and marketing so you don't become a starving artist. This quote sums it up perfectly. For marketing, it's basically content creation. People, the best way to market your brand, market your products are with content. So just place content creation in that, but sales, marketing, and so you don't do what you love, whatever you're passionate about. This just further confirms that these 3 skills, I'm not making this up. I've kind of learned from people one-on-one. I've researched, I've done the work, I've bought a ton of courses, I've spent a ton of money on mentorship, and I've learned and kind of compiled these 3 skills for you so that you can kind of simplify your life if you stumbled across this video and are wondering what to do. Again, if you're wondering what to do specifically, I think back to my old point, you should get into sales to solve your money, to replace your 9-to-5, to build skills if you're somewhere where you're not doing that currently. And that way you can have time and flexibility to move out of home or focus on your business on the side, and then know that the time that you're spending on your job is paying off for you and feeding into your entrepreneurship venture. And again, if you want to learn more about that, I have a full guide that walks step by step how to do this. Again, it's the first link in the description. If you scroll down, you can click it. I'll probably also have a pinned comment with it in there as well. Don't want to make this too long, so I'm going to make further videos going in depth on each of these, and my goal for this channel is just to help younger, ambitious people break constraints of modern life and society and the script that we're falling into of, a traditional 9-to-5 save for retirement mindset, and help people live lives of more freedom earlier on in their lives and find out what they're really passionate about and make an impact with their work. And that's kind of my current mission and goal right now, and that's where I really feel inclined to help people. So that's why I wanted to make this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you in another video. Chat out. Peace.